The text message came through at 2:07 a.m. while I was on assignment in Seattle. Finally took care of that house situation for you. You're welcome. It was from my mother. I stared at the glowing screen in the dark hotel room, the city lights bleeding through the curtains. That house. My house. The 3-bedroom colonial in Alexandria I'd bought 2 years earlier. The one I chose carefully, 15 minutes from the federal courthouse, 20 minutes from U.S. Marshal headquarters. Quiet street. Solid construction. Secure. What do you mean took care of it? I typed back. The reply came instantly. I sold it. You were never there anyway. The money will help your sister Emma with her wedding. My heart slammed into my ribs. You sold my house. Don't be dramatic. We had your power of attorney from when you were overseas. The house was just sitting empty. Cash sale, $850,000. Your father and I gave Emma her share already. My hands shook so badly I nearly dropped my phone. Power of attorney. From 6 years ago, when I'd been deployed overseas before joining the Marshals. A document I'd forgotten to revoke. That house is not yours to sell, I wrote. You need to stop this immediately. It's already closed. Family helps family, Daniel. You can thank us at the reunion. I sat there in stunned silence. They didn't just sell my house. They sold a federal safe house. I grabbed my phone and called my supervisor, Deputy Chief Marshal Thomas Reed. Daniel, it's the middle of the night, he said. Sir, my family sold my Alexandria property. There was a pause. Your house? The safe house? Yes, sir. Jesus Christ, he muttered. Who's inside? Elena Russo and her 2 kids. They are scheduled to stay 3 more weeks. Another long silence. Get back to DC now, Reed said. We are activating emergency relocation. I booked the first flight out, knowing my parents' greed had just turned my life, and someone else's, into a potential crime scene. By the time I landed in Washington, D.C., my phone had 17 missed calls from my mother. I ignored every one. At headquarters, Deputy Chief Reed was waiting with legal counsel and senior marshals. The room felt colder than usual. Start from the beginning, Reed said. I explained everything, the outdated power of attorney, my parents' access to it, the sale without my knowledge. Legal counsel Maya Grant leaned forward. Let me clarify. Your parents sold a property registered as a federal safe house, currently protecting a witness in an organized crime case. Yes, And they sold it for $850,000. Reed clenched his jaw. That house is worth at least $2.8 million. Maya typed rapidly. The buyer is listed as North Shore Equity LLC. Shell Company. Delaware registration. Ownership concealed. My stomach dropped. You think this wasn't random? No, she said quietly. Someone targeted that property. Reed stood. We move the Russo family now. We arrived with a tactical team. Marshals Alvarez and Kim met us at the door, confused. It was sold, Reed told them. We are evacuating. Inside, Elena Russo looked terrified as we explained the move. Her children clung to her legs. You said we were safe, she whispered. I know, I said. And you still will be. As they packed, Reed pulled me aside. Your parents are at a family reunion. Pennsylvania. Then that's where we are going next. I knew that conversation would destroy whatever was left of my family. My uncle's farm outside Harrisburg was full of laughter when we arrived. Children ran through the grass. Music played. My mother stood by the grill, smiling, until she saw the badges. What's going on? She asked. I stepped forward. We need to talk about the house. For heaven's sake, she scoffed. You're still upset? That house was a federal safe house, I said. You sold it while it was protecting a witness and her children. The laughter died instantly. My father stared at me. You said you worked in administration. I'm a deputy U.S. Marshal, I replied. That house saved lives. Deputy Chief Reed showed his badge. You've compromised a witness protection case. My sister Emma stepped forward. They were just helping me. They paid for my wedding. That money came from an illegal sale of federal property, I said. It will be seized. That's when Reed pulled me aside and showed me his phone. The photo made my blood freeze. Lucas Moretti Jr., son of the crime boss Elena Russo, was testifying against. North Shore equity belongs to them, Reed said. They bought your house on purpose. I turned back to my parents. Who contacted you about selling? My mother hesitated. A real estate agent. She said she had cash buyers. And how did she know you had access? Silence. I mentioned it at the country club, my father admitted. I felt sick. They hadn't just been careless. They'd been the perfect targets. Your casual conversation sold access to a protected witness, Reed said bluntly. My mother started crying. We didn't know. Ignorance doesn't erase damage, legal counsel Grant said. You're being charged with witness tampering and theft of government property. Agents stepped forward and placed my parents in custody. Emma screamed. Daniel, do something. I looked at her. You took $400,000 knowing it wasn't yours. 2 days later, her fiancé left. The investigation uncovered a network of corrupt real estate agents feeding information to organized crime families. My parents' actions were just one successful hit. Elena Russo testified months later. The crime boss received life in prison. His son got 20 years. My parents weren't so lucky. They were convicted 6 months later. Dad got 4 years. Mom got 3. The judge said it plainly, your actions nearly cost 3 innocent lives. I visited once before they were transferred. Please, my mother whispered. Can't you fix this? I protect witnesses, I said. I don't interfere with justice. I visited my parents once before they were transferred to federal prison. The holding facility smelled like disinfectant and regret. When they walked in wearing orange jumpsuits, I barely recognized them. They looked smaller somehow, like the weight of their choices had physically shrunk them. My mother sat first. Her hands trembled as she folded them on the table. Daniel, she whispered, like saying my name softly might undo everything. We were only trying to help your sister. We never meant for any of this to happen. I didn't answer right away. I thought about Elena Russo's children, the way her daughter had cried when we rushed them out of the house, clutching a stuffed animal she'd almost left behind. You didn't ask, I finally said. You never ask. You just decide. My father leaned forward. You were never around. Always working. Always gone. What were we supposed to think? That my reasons were none of your business, I replied. That selling someone else's house, especially mine, wasn't your decision to make. My mother started crying. Please. Can't you talk to someone? Your father's health, I'm a U.S. Marshal, I said quietly. I don't interfere with federal cases. And even if I could, I wouldn't. That was the moment they realized I wasn't there to save them. 6 months later, the verdict came down. Witness tampering. Theft of government property. 4 years for my father. 3 for my mother, plus supervised release. The judge didn't soften his words. Ignorance, he said, was not an excuse when lives were at risk. My sister Emma lost everything. Her wedding fund was seized. Her venue cancelled. Her fiancé left, saying he couldn't marry into a family surrounded by federal charges. After sentencing, the letters started. Long apologies. Justifications disguised as regret. Promises to change. I read them once. Then I stopped. Some things, once broken, don't deserve to be fixed. 2 years later, Deputy Chief Reed found me late one evening in my office, surrounded by case files. He leaned against the door frame, arms crossed. "Heard your mother wrote again," he said. "She wants reconciliation." I didn't look up. "She wants relief from guilt." "That's not the same thing." "Family matters," he said carefully. "So does doing the job right," I replied. I thought about the line we walk as marshals. Every safe house. Every relocation. Every promise we make to people who have already lost everything. Trust is the only currency that keeps them alive. My parents broke that trust without hesitation. They crossed a line, I continued. Not just legally. Morally. Reed nodded slowly. Most people never understand the cost of this job until it's personal. It was personal, I said. That's why I can't ignore it. I kept working. Moving witnesses. Building cases. Drawing boundaries my family never respected. When birthdays passed, I ignored the cards. When holidays came, I stayed silent. People called me cold. Unforgiving. Maybe they were right. But every time I questioned myself, I remembered Elena Russo's Christmas card, the photo of her kids smiling, alive, safe. That was the choice. My parents were released 18 months ago. My father got out early for good behavior. They moved to Florida, far from the whispers of their old community. They still write emails on holidays. Cards on my birthday. Each one asks the same thing in different words: can we talk? Can we explain? Can we start over? Sometimes, late at night, I consider it. Then I remember the house in Alexandria. The mob shell company. The fake real estate agent. The price that was too good to question. I remember how close 3 innocent people came to dying. I remember that my parents valued $850,000 more than my boundaries, my career, or the lives of strangers. Maybe one day time will dull those memories. Maybe one day I'll be able to see them as parents instead of former inmates who compromised a witness protection case. But not today. Today, I still have a badge to wear and a duty to uphold. Witnesses who depend on us to keep our word. Criminals who only need one mistake. If that makes me unforgiving, I can live with it. Elena Russo's children are alive. That matters more than my parents' feelings. It always will. 2 years later, my supervisor asked if I planned to reconcile. Family matters, he said. So does protecting people who can't protect themselves, I replied. Personal feelings don't override duty. I kept working. Kept moving witnesses. Kept drawing lines my family never respected.